Now, Linda Ray is a Goldfields artist who has recently settled in as the latest artist in residence at the Goldfields Art Centre. The Pain Project is her latest one, and the workshop series and her first open studio takes place today. Linda Ray joins me in the studio. How are you, Linda?
Good, Ivo. How are you?
Very, very well. Are you excited?
I am, yep. I'm looking forward to having some people come and visit.
It's always good. Now, first of all, tell us about the Pain Project. What does this involve?
So the Pain Project, I'm reaching out to local Goldfields community. You might remember a little project I did back in 2020, Pandemic Portfolio.
How could anyone forget?
It takes a little bit from that, where I'm inviting members of our community who live with chronic pain with specific emphasis on autoimmune type conditions, things like fibromyalgia, rheumatoid arthritis, endometriosis, all those ones that are a bit tricky to say, a little bit tricky to talk about, and not many people have much understanding of them, including our medical professionals. So I want to get their stories out. It's really quite common. You definitely would know people living with these conditions, and they've just never shared with you how much pain they're in every day.
Why is it important for you?
I guess I was inspired by the project by a bit of a personal journey of my own. That's a bit of a tricky side of it myself. I'm quite private about my personal life. So part of it I thought, well, I need to do what I'm asking everybody else to do, and sharing my story a little bit as well. Last year I ended up debilitating illness. I was in bed, and anybody who knows me knows that's not
how
I roll.
Yeah.
So that was a little bit of a shock for me, and that was really after living with endometriosis for 40 years and never being diagnosed. I had my suspicions over the years. I've ended up in hospital with them, nobody knowing what was wrong with me at the end, misdiagnosis, etc. And then it wasn't until, things really snowballed that I ended up in bed that I finally actually got a diagnosis. And I wondered whether, if I knew more in the past, if I knew more when I was a teenager or in my 20s or even in my 30s, would that have not happened? And there's also quite a hereditary sort of line to these kinds of conditions as well. And I have a daughter that I would like life to be better for her.
Absolutely.
And her friends and anybody else, women that are going through it right now. It's not fair and it's not right. And, we need some more research around it. The lack of research is astounding. And the amount I've learnt in the last 12 months is absolutely incredible. I believed all the myths. I had no idea. And I've learnt so much in the last 12 months.
What a beautiful, beautiful project to bring everyone together and actually raise awareness of it. That's going to be incredible. Today is the day you open your first studio. What the first studio day? What will this involve?
Okay, so I'm inviting people in between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. at the Goldfields Art Centre. And I've got a few fun things to do. We can have a chat about the project. Doesn't matter whether the conditions are something that affect you or not. But you can come in. I've got a few fun walls to scribble on and draw some pictures on. I have my Life Be Like wall, where you can leave a comment about what life is like when living with chronic pain. And I've got my pain scale, where you can let me know where you're feeling on the pain scale today and make it either a sarcastic or a fun or a serious comment towards what you think about the pain scale. And also things that help and don't help. Along with, I've also got a Pandemic Portfolio book there, my children's books. We can just have a chat, have a coffee. I've got some cake as well, if that helps.
He probably does. Now, what's on the agenda throughout the rest of the residency?
So I've got 3 open studio dates. There's today, and then there's the 9th and the 23rd of June. I just had a workshop last week teaching people what the techniques I use to paint portraits. And then I'm inviting people to nominate themselves or a friend to be part of the project, and they can come in and have a private portrait sitting while we discuss their journey, their story to capture in the project, or they can get a body painting if they wish. And then I also have on the 18th of June a bit of a grand finale, a body paint celebration, which is myself teaming up with the infamous Angie the Fairy and Melon Burns. What a trio. So come and join us for the night, and you can get a body painting and some photos and just a really empowering night for women.
It's going to be interesting. Looking forward to how it's all coming through. Linda, thank you so much for, one, sharing your story and also getting other people's stories together, because it does help the community when people know they're not the only one suffering, and to when they think it's in their head, and know that if they can talk to people about it, it makes it so much of a difference.
Yes, it can be so isolating, and I'm hoping that the people who choose to join me and share their story, that it can be a little bit healing for their journey as well.
Absolutely. Oh, Linda, thank you so much. Take care.
Thank you.